Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SamTalkz podcast. This week, we had the amazing Celluxies on the podcast. Guys, we had a lot of really great conversations about all kinds of different things, mental health, marginalized communities, talking about some really, really fantastic stuff, some hard-hitting topics. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And guys, before we go ahead and start though, please do remember to like, favorite, comment, subscribe if you do enjoy this video. Really do appreciate that a lot. Let's go ahead and jump right into the podcast, guys. Hello, everyone. We have a great guest here. You can hear her now. Sorry, guys. She said hello before I was able to take her off mute. She like beat me to the punch.
I'm sorry. You can do the thing. You can.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Take two. Hello, everyone. I have a fantastic guest for you all here today. The great Celluxies. There we go. The take two worked. Everybody, see? All right. Celluxies, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you? How has the stream been? Hi, everybody.
Stream's been great. We've all been excited about being able to talk to you today, though. This is literally everyone. Nobody could stop talking about it. I was like, guys, I'm playing a game here. And they're like, shut up, Sam. We want to talk to Celluxies. I'm like, okay. Huh. I was like, you guys gotta wait, though.
It's just, I'm a fan favorite. It's true. It's okay. It's part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. And look, MK says she looks amazing. Listen, guys, it's a running theme, okay? Listen, the guests always dress better than me. I get it.
All right. I'm not even wearing a suit. It's just a crop top.
Yeah, but it still looks
sweatpants.
But see, anyone who comes on the podcast looks better than me, okay? All right, that's just how it is.
Somebody visited my stream the other day and asked me, "Are you gonna be wearing a suit to the interview?" Because the past couple people did, and I was like, "I will be wearing sweatpants, thank you."
Listen, as long as you're comfortable and you're here, that's all that matters. Okay, it's perfect. Okay,
True.
So a couple of things real quick, guys. One, I am not ignoring you. I am reading your messages. I am just not talking to you, because I'm focusing on our great guests here. But guys, please feel free to ask any questions. I will be keeping an eye on it on them in chat, so feel free to just go ahead and start asking away. Can't confirm sweatpants are better looking. So Celluxies, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Celine. I go by Cell online, or Celluxies. I'm 21. I live in LA. I'm a mental health and disability advocate. I'm autistic. I'm very gay. I'm very disabled, and I play a lot of World of Warcraft at a very competitive level.
Oh, at a competitive level. That's some very. You just gave us a lot of really interesting topics that we can talk about here.
I did, yeah.
So first off, though, I'm going to start with this, though. What got you into streaming?
Well, I've been a gamer since I was like, I can curse, right?
Fuck yeah! Go for it!
Thank God. Okay, so I've been a gamer since I was fucking 7, younger maybe, and I wasn't really aware what Twitch was until high school. I took a break from gaming to focus on school because I was gonna go to college on like academic scholarships and shit.
Right.
And then when that didn't work out and I started playing video games again back in like 2017, just the whole like Twitch culture and everything, there wasn't too much of it back then, but as it grew over time, I don't know, I just more and more I felt like this is something that I wanted to do because I like the interaction, I like getting to know people, I like getting to share the things that I know about the game because I've been playing it for so long, and I think that my brain is a sponge for all things World of Warcraft, so getting able to like spew that out back at people is really fun.
Oh, I can imagine.
And oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And just overall, I feel like it's done a lot of good for me and for the people in my community, and yeah.
Okay,
well, it's a good time.
So when did you start streaming?
January. I've been doing it for
this year.
Yeah. January 12th. Actually, 8 months today, exactly, because it was January 12th, 2021, and it's now September 12th.
Happy anniversary! What the heck? She coming in here on the 8-month anniversary of her stream onto this crazy podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure. I didn't even know it was today.
This was all planned, by the way, guys. Don't worry. This was all thought out. We here at the SamTalkz podcast think of these things.
Of course.
So,
but yeah,
you've been streaming.
My first ever stream. Yeah.
Oh, go
my
for it.
My first ever stream was January 12th, and then I got affiliated on January 21st, and then I've just been streaming since then.
9 days? 9 days it took you to get affiliated. Nice. Because I know a lot of people tend to struggle with that a little bit, that, getting to affiliates. So like, how did that work for you? Did you have like friends who were coming in to watch you or family members?
Yeah. I've been playing WoW a really long time, and I've been playing it competitively for several years now. So as soon as I started streaming, it was like I reconnected with so many people that I had lost touch with, and I got to talk to people that I hadn't talked to before in the community. And it's been like this grueling process of people getting to know like who I am in the Mythic Plus community too. Because people will come in and be like, hey, I remember, or I'll do a queue with somebody off stream, and then they'll see my stream the next day and then message me in game like, did we do something together? Because your voice is really familiar. And I'm like, yeah, actually, my paladin's name is the same exact thing as my Twitch name. So the connection there is not far, but
Well, still though, that's awesome because like I said earlier, it's just, a lot of people struggle with that hump of becoming an affiliate. So to get it in 9 days, that is so freaking cool. I know I struggled with it when it first came out. Sorry guys, I'm a boomer. I've been streaming for 7 years. I know it's awful. Anyways, but yeah, that is awesome. And what did make you decide to start streaming? Was it just like when you looked at Twitch or when you thought about streaming, what was like that initial push to get you into it?
So the thing always stopping me was I was gaming on a laptop and I had a really bad modem. So then back in 2020, I got approved for disability payments from the US government. And that was 2 years from the day I turned 18 to the moment I got it was 2.5 years of arguing with the feds about whether or not I'm disabled enough to be on disability. And for the record, I literally cannot stand for longer than 30 seconds. So I am very disabled. Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask what it is? What you
Yeah, sure. You can ask me any questions. The one that makes it so that I can't stand is called POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is a heart condition that makes it so my heartbeat is really, really fast and my blood pressure is really, really low. So then when I stand up and it gets even faster and my blood pressure drops more, I'll faint usually.
Oh my goodness.
My POTS is severe enough that back in 2020, I went to a cardiologist who told me that I would probably go into heart failure within the next decade or so. So until then, we're just trying medications and I'm living my life to the fullest.
Listen, I'm on team. Hopefully that doesn't come true.
Yeah, me too.
I'm on that team. I'm on that side because losing someone like you in the world would be a horrific loss, in my opinion.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, see, because I've been in your streams. I've talked to you. We were on Ariana's stream, and I mean, look at you right now. You're just all smiles right now. How can we lose someone like that? That's awful. Exactly, Logan. It'd be a tragedy. It'd be an absolute tragedy. So and so you also mentioned earlier that you also push for disability, on awareness of these disabilities on your stream. Correct. And I think that's also awesome. How has that been for you though, with dealing with these issues as a streamer? Because I can't imagine that can be easy.
So I do it a way that a lot of people might not like for themselves. I've got commands on my Twitch channel that you can like plug in and it'll tell you everything I've got, all the important stuff. For a lot of people that's oversharing and they feel like that the world doesn't need to know that, right? But my whole thing with it is like, I do not look like I'm as sick and disabled as I am. I don't look like I'm on 3 types of chemotherapy, but I am. And it's all about like making people's mental image of sick and disabled, or either of those, or a combination of the two, include a very wide range of appearances.
Right.
So I talk about it a lot. And then sometimes I get people who come in, and obviously I struggled for years with dropping out of college because that was something I was working towards my entire life. I struggled with not being able to find a job that I could maintain because none of them could give me the accommodations I needed, and all of these things. And thank you, Gwen. And sometimes I still get people who are like, "Oh, you just didn't try hard enough," or like, "Your doctors must be wrong,"
Oh
or
yeah.
"You just don't know what you're talking about," and that kind of thing. And that there was a couple weeks ago, I had one day where I had like back to back people coming in and telling me that for like an 8-hour stream, and I ended up just taking a week off completely because I was like, I can't even do this anymore.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's fine, but if I get up into like 100 plus viewers, it gets really bad.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
to keep it small.
well, I can imagine because, well, first of all, Twitch, it's great, great website sometimes with
Great
this
website.
with
Yep.
its people. So first of all, I want to talk about sharing, because you said that it might be a little bit oversharing. First of all, I want to say, and this goes for everyone here, guys. We are humans, right? We are human beings. And especially streamers. I think people tend to sort of mythicalize or put streamers on pedestals. Guys, we're all human, and I just want to say that you sharing these issues, these problems, these trials that you go through, I think it's an amazing thing to do, because first of all, you can help someone to relate and feel like they're not alone. And I think that's the most important thing that we can do as entertainers, as streamers, as content creators, as YouTubers, as anything, is to give someone the feeling that they're not alone. And so for you, has streaming been able to open you up to this world of finding people who are suffering as well, with and give you that sense of not being as alone?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even like with the disability stuff, for sure. I get tons of people who I usually tag my stream as invisible disability or chronic illness or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I'm feeling with that day. I get people who come in like, "Hey, I have an invisible disability too," and then we might talk about that, or they'll read my commands and go like, "Oh yeah, I have POTS, I have arthritis as well. Like I struggle with these things," and it really helps with connecting on that level. And it just chronic illness is a very unique set of struggles. So getting to meet other people who go through it, because we're very unlikely to meet each other out in the world because none of us leave our houses.
Exactly, right.
So it's really nice to have the internet and get to like relate to people and talk about these things that a lot of people don't understand and don't know how to empathize with. And often, if I talk about them with somebody who has no experience at all with anything of the sort, it's a lot of like, "Wow, that sure sounds like it sucks. Can we change the topic
Yeah.
now?"
Oh, sorry to hear that you're suffering. That's
Yeah.
awful. What a tragedy that you're not having, that you can't talk about what you're going through, and that I can understand it. Hold on a sec. I do apologize. Apparently, I'm still in Just Chat. Yeah, I'm still in Final Fantasy 14. Whoops. I'm still in the Final Fantasy 14 category, guys. Thank you, Logan. Let me go ahead and change that real quick. Just chatting. There we go. Sorry, professional streamer over here, guys. Partnered and everything. Whoa. All right. I think we're good now. Sorry.
No judgment here.
Sorry, guys. Anyways. Yeah, you can change it, Moz. I do apologize. Anyways. But yeah, so these issues that we go through as human beings, I think it's so important to be able to talk about them. And I'm really happy that your community is able to be a safe place for people to go to talk about them. And I'm also sorry that you have to deal with jackasses on Twitch who,
That's okay.
all of a sudden got there.
Most of the time I can handle it. Just sometimes when it's back to back to back, I'm like, you know what? I need a break.
Yeah.
I need a minute.
So how do you cope with that?
Well,
How do you cope with that? Like after a stream, because I don't know about you. When I end a stream, sometimes I still carry that baggage a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just, it's. I just lay down and look at the ceiling.
For me, okay, I either will vent to one of my friends, or if I don't feel like venting, if I don't feel like venting, then I will turn up my personal playlist really loud. That's the one thing I hate about the DMCA stuff.
Oh.
I am stuck listening to like Twitch and Juna beats all day, and that's not me. I like I like 303 and 100 gex and those things that scratch the itch in my brain. Um the zoomer itch. And so I log off and I turn that stuff up to like 99 on my headset, and my therapist goes, "Hey, you need a different coping mechanism. You're gonna blow your eardrums." And I go, "I can't hear you, Erica. Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry
It's
about
all
it."
good. We're all going with it. But yeah, so well, I mean, like, listen, but at least you also vent to your friends, right? That's the important thing too.
I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So
And my mods.
and you listen, if you can't vent to your mods, who can you vent to, right?
Exactly.
So you you have all of these, you know, amazing stories to tell. All of these, like I said, trials and everything that you go through. So as a content creator, what have been some of the unique challenges that you've encountered?
Oh, oh, the list is so long.
Well, we've got
Um
all day. Well, we got almost all day.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is like recently with all the Twitch stuff and with like the stuff that happened with OnlyFans, a lot of what I hear is like diversify your content and that kind of thing. Like be on as many platforms as possible. You need to be posting 8 times a day. You need to be doing all those things. And that's just not how I can operate. I'm already spread very thin because being chronically ill and being disabled is a full-time job in itself. I mean, my mom helps me a lot, thank God, but if she didn't, then I would spend most of my days every day arguing with insurance, emailing doctors, looking at lab results, that kind of thing. Um, and then comes like actually not the content creation itself, but just like being physically and emotionally prepared for it. Like I can do stuff without my makeup, but I prefer wearing makeup for stuff that I'm gonna like publish on YouTube or whatever.
Of course.
Um, and that's a whole thing. Showering is so much more physical labor than I think anyone really thinks about until they're like disabled or injured themselves, and then it's
Yeah.
like, wait, shit, this
Well, I mean,
fucking sucks.
if you can't stand for more than 30 seconds, showering is a little bit
Yeah.
difficult. And I'm sure the heat and everything probably doesn't help either.
No, I take like lukewarm showers and I do shower with a chair. In the past year or so, I got a chair for my shower that's helped me tremendously. I used to just have to like squat and hope to not pass out. But the thing is, when they gave me the brochure to pick a chair, they hand me this brochure of mobility aids, and it's a bunch of old people who are like in their 80s on death's door, struggling to get out of the bath. I'm like, I'm 19. I was 19 at the time. I'm like, I'm 19 years old, and you just gave me a brochure full of 85-year-olds.
Yeah, and you get and I can only imagine that you got like the chair salesman is like, this baby can hold so many old people.
This baby can hold so many invalids. Don't worry.
So yeah, like I said, so that has to be like a unique challenge in and of itself, is just being able to shower. Right. Listen, guys,
So
the content creation game is difficult. Okay, never underestimate.
It's so hard. And oh my God, I'm creative, but I'm not creative in the ways that other people are creative. Like my ways are like visually, I guess. And
Yeah, I mean, look at your background versus my background.
Looks
Boring,
like a unicorn threw up in
exciting.
here.
I know. This is why you'd be a perfect YouTuber. I mean, listen, all of the colors is like visually, aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, and I love it so much.
My problem with YouTube is writing scripts. I have been promising my community for weeks that I would start a TikTok. I posted my first TikTok today. I posted a little intro TikTok. Very proud of myself. To get to do that though, I had to like mentally, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not think about YouTube and I'm gonna put that aside and I'm gonna work on TikTok first, and then I'll go into YouTube later when I'm more used to doing video content.
Right.
So
Yeah, because scripted video content can be fun. It's a lot of work though. Like, oh, Oh my god, it's so much work.
Writing a script is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because I've been doing reviews for video games. Their page is long, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life? I'm writing video essays on freaking video games now.
Yeah. The YouTube video that I posted that's not just like a kill VOD or something, or a high key from last season or something, was about microaggressions against women in gaming and how day to day we can limit those, not just with like specific examples of how to do that. And I did that out of passion because of the Blizzard lawsuit, and I was so pissed at all the people who were like, oh, there's nothing we can do, it's up to Blizzard. I'm like, okay, you know that this behavior comes from generations of shitty behavior in video game communities, right? So like, it starts with us. And then I wanted to continue that and do a series about like microaggressions against disabled people, against LGBTQ people, and go through like the struggles for each one. The problem is the next one I wanted to do was the disability one because I felt like I could speak on that personally. However, every time I went to write the script, I just got massively pissed off and I had to put it down again.
Listen, I mean, it's understandable when you start going through the list of everything that, you know, all of the aggressions, all of the wrongs that happen. It's just it really does make your blood boil, and especially, oh my god, because like every time I go to write a tweet now about Twitch, I'm like sitting there on my phone, like fucking what the fuck do you think you're doing, you piece of shit?
50% of our fucking revenue. Oh my god,
30% of our revenue, and I just got 20 followers from Haas. What do you think you're doing?
Where the fuck is my money going, Jeff?
Which, by the way, guys, you know, other platforms, you know, support your content creators through there. Anyways, but yeah. So first of all, now that we talked about Twitch a little bit here, what is your opinion with everything going on? I'd love to hear it.
Oh, my opinion. I mean, like I said, it's hard for me to diversify my content, so you probably won't see me like streaming on YouTube anytime soon, because I already have it's already a struggle to stream like 3 or 4 days a week. But I you know, I'm pissed that they're not doing more, that's for sure. And it's incredible to me that people have come up with better solutions with like free resources, as
Like,
opposed to Twitch sending out that email that was like,
oh
have you heard of emote only mode?
Hey guys, do you know you have moderators? Like, what?
To all of you streamers struggling to get affiliate, have you thought about just having an entire team of mods at your disposal at all times?
Trust us, it works every time. We know what we're talking about. We're not out of touch with our consumer, with our base or anything like that. And it was, well, because it was like we talked about last week with Emilzia. It's just like you really get the sense that Twitch really does not fucking care at all. Because even that email you talked about, that felt like so automated. Like, Jesus Christ, like it was a template. I mean, they just put in.
Yeah, it legitimately was like, turn on follower only mode and go to emote only mode and hope it stops. Good luck to you.
And I'm gonna be honest too with the way that Twitch works. Like, if I were to go into a stream and it's an emote only mode or something like that, or not me personally, but if like a new viewer goes in there and they sees that your entire stream is an emote only, follow only mode, it kind of turns people off. So it kind of stunts your growth. It kind of makes it harder to grow on the platform. So I do want to ask you though, how has the journey been so far for you on Twitch? Has it been fun? Has it been exciting? Has it been what you thought it would be? Or has it been even different?
It's been a little bit of a roller coaster for sure. When I first started streaming, I went super ham on it, and I was streaming like 5 days a week or more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to like March, and I got a feature on Raider.io, which is a WoW fandom website about the Keystone Dungeon score. I don't know how to explain it to people who don't play WoW. Basically just competitive host website for scores for something in World of Warcraft. And I got a feature there. I got a stream feature, so I was on the front page for a bit. They did a few tweets about me. They did a Facebook post, all that. They do one every week, I think.
Right.
And that week, I streamed like way more than I probably should have. But it did help my stream a lot, and I met a lot of really awesome people, some of whom are my mods now. And that was a really good experience. And then just like since then, it's been like I wish that that had happened later for me actually, because it was like I went from like nothing to a whole lot, back to like trickle, fall off, and now we're back into like, okay, these are the people that are just in my community to be in my community.
Right.
It also, my audience depends wildly on what I'm doing in WoW. Like if I'm just doing casual stuff, then it'll be my normal community. But if I'm doing high end WoW, that's when I get like 150, 200 viewers, and then it gets sketchy. And then I'm like, hey, can I get some mods online, please? Soon, now, preferably.
Yeah, right. That's oh my god. Because sometimes the WoW directory can be like the Wild West. It's just oh god, anything goes, and you just kind of just want to just go crazy. But I think so I think that Raider IO feature, because I think I remember that actually. I think I remember seeing that tweet from them. I was like, oh, she looks cool, and then I went by my day. So I'm sorry about that. So
that's okay. That's fair. I do that a lot too.
Well, I mean, the Raider IO featured streamers always look cool, but back then I was just like kind of like TBC was my only concern back then. The Burning Crusade Classic, that's all I could think about. But you've been playing World of Warcraft. I think I remember you saying like you were playing it since Legion. You started in Legion.
I started playing competitively in Legion, but I've been playing WoW in general since 2007.
Wow. I always feel like I'm missing out when everyone always tells me I started in 2006, 2007. I'm always like, I'm so jealous. You got like the peak.
I didn't really retain any WoW information until like Pandaria when I was 12, 13.
God, I'm even more jealous because I freaking love Pandaria. Every time I go into there, I'm like, this is nice. This feels right. So so World of Warcraft, was that like when you started streaming, that was like the game that you were gonna play? That's the game you started with, right?
Yeah, and I tried a couple times to do stuff other than World of Warcraft, but I had no fun with it at all because I'm hyper fixated on World of Warcraft, and I've made it a core part of my personality. And the other thing I'll do, actually, which I haven't done on stream in a while because I get toxic, is HOTS, which is Heroes of the Storm. Part of the reason I like that game is because there's WoW characters in it that I already know. And people will always just tell me to play League, but League only has one map, and my ADHD does not vibe with that, so I don't play League.
Yeah.
I played 3 games of League once, and I went, this is boring, and I quit, and I uninstalled it.
It was for the best, honestly, like for the best, because the League of Legends, not only is it, what's the community? Oh man.
Yeah, like I say I get toxic in HOTS, but the worst I'll do is like pretend I'm a guy and tell somebody else that I'm gonna touch their butt in a gay way. Like that's not really toxic. That's just making people uncomfortable.
Woo! Listen. MOBAs just have that way of bringing the toxicity out. It's just, I don't know what it is, because I also get toxic whenever I play something like Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends or Dota. I'm just like, you fucking idiots! What the fuck are you doing?
I think it starts in picking your heroes, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna play this, you take that option, and then you guys take those options, and people are like, you know what, actually, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want to do,
and I'm gonna take your hero, lol.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and it's like, well, we've got 5 squishy assassins, no tank, and no healers, so this is gonna go very well.
Ooh, sounds like all of my World of Warcraft keys. Anyways, but yeah, so you play World of Warcraft, and you said you've tried out different things, but you hyperfixate on WoW. Have you ever thought about trying it again, or are you just like, nope, World of Warcraft, that's it?
I have, but I would want to do like really niche games. Like I have like Typing of the Dead Overkill. I think that would be a really fun stream.
I haven't heard Typing of the Dead in years. Oh my goodness.
That would be hilarious. I do that on a stream. I do like, I really hate single player games or stuff where like I can't, if it's single player, I want to be able to interact with chat really easily. So I don't know. I own like all the Witcher games. I've only played The Witcher 3, but I own them all. I own all the Dragon Age games. I have played all of those. I don't think I completed DAI, but I completed the other two. And I actually completed Dragon Age Origins in one singular 18-hour sitting
Whoa. Whoa.
because
Whoa.
I'm mentally ill.
Whoa. Excuse me. No, that's awesome. That is freaking awesome. I wish
I
I
don't think it was.
I wish I had. Listen, but Dragon Age Origins is a fantastic game. By the way, guys, if any of you have never played Dragon Age, oh my god. Oh, MK, you heard a rumor she owns Terraria too.
I do own Terraria. I know nothing. I also own Stardew Valley. I own a few other games.
Stardew
I've
Valley is
got
awesome.
I've got a Steam library for variety games if I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
It's just I think part of it is like I like WoW and I always have something to do in WoW because I have a really awesome guild and I'm an alcoholic, so it's like I've always got another character I could be doing things on. And then also I'm afraid that like my viewership WoW viewers are very loyal to WoW.
Yes,
So it's
sir.
hard if you are generally like a WoW only streamer to ever do something that's not WoW because people come to your stream, they're like, you're not
Wow.
playing WoW?
Wow. What are you doing with your life?
Where the fuck is the World of Warcraft? Hello?
Yeah, where's them high level keys at? We need them keys. So, but does that make you frustrated? Does that frustrate you a little bit, or you just like whatever? We'll go with the flow.
Um, Sometimes it frustrates me, but I pretty rarely now that I'm at the point in my relationship with WoW where I know that like groups come and go, my Mythic Plus teams will come and go. I might get back in touch with some of them, I might not. My guild is there. There's always something to do there. And it also like the playability of WoW also depends a lot on the community and how much the community is enjoying the game,
Right.
which is why I'm hyped as fuck for the next patch because there's so many cool things that I think will hopefully bring people back to the game and re-energize everybody with WoW. And then like I don't know. There's so many moving parts to it, but for the most part, I'm fine with sticking to WoW. I like I said, I would do like stream incentives. I'll do like I did fuck, what's the name of that game? It's the dude in the bucket and he's like trying to get up a hill.
Bennett Foddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did do that. And on my own, I actually got pretty far. And then as soon as other people were watching me, I couldn't do it. And I was like,
That's that streamer anxiety. Once someone
shit.
watch it, yeah. Once it's a streamer
No one
curse.
will even believe me.
Yeah, the streamer curse hits, guys. The streamer curse. You can do everything perfectly off stream, but the second someone starts watching you, it's when it all goes to hell. It's how it works. I'm sorry, guys. It's just we're actually amazing gamers. I'm actually pro level World of Warcraft. But anytime I go stream, I tank
Only
twos.
outside Orgrimmar right now.
Dude, listen. Listen, you're gonna destroy me. I'm gonna be honest. Please don't do this to me. I have a reputation. Yeah, the streamer affix is brutal. MK. Oh my god, it's so rough. Logan, the Sam v Cell. Listen. I don't want to get like I'm gonna get horribly wrecked. But so, anyways, to get back on topic though, what are you wanting to do with streaming though? What are you wanting to get out of it?
I mean, when I first started and for the first few months, it was gonna be a way for me to have an income outside of disability. 'Cause disability, they don't give you very much.
Mhm.
It's like a few $100s and you're supposed to live off that. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And so I just wanted to I have amazingly supportive parents.
Mhm.
My mom does so much for me. I'm very grateful for her every single day. No comment on my dad. And then I just wanted to have a way to have my own income and have my own like spending money outside of just the money that I had to spend on like rent and gas and basic livability things. But then after a few months of focusing on it for like income reasons, that became really unfun. A lot of my stream is about reaching marginalized identities and like creating a community through that. So
Right.
a lot of my viewers don't have a ton of money to like gift a bunch of subs or donate money or anything like that. So then I kind of shifted gears to I do have an OnlyFans. I do that stuff. I really enjoy it, and I'm happy to talk about it. But I'll just cover my point for now. Um, I've refocused my goal of getting income on that instead, and it made streaming so much more fun to no longer be thinking about Twitch as like, okay, I have to be live all the time. I have to get my income off this. I have to get this many subs every day
Right.
to go to hit my goals. And now it's just like this thing I do for fun a few times a week. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll game like 6 to 8 hours or something like that, and then
Oof.
that's
Man, I
yeah.
wish I could do that. I'm like old man now. So, oh, all right, 5 hours. Oh, I'm ready to take a nap.
I drink a lot of energy drinks, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness gracious, that has to be fun. I have like 2 a day. That's like my limit. Because anything more than that, I'm just like, are we ready to go?
I'll drink like one a day, not even one a day, one every few days if I am having trouble like staying awake and that kind of thing. Um, but I'll cut it with water or I'll like sip it while I'm doing something else so that it hits me over time because of the heart condition. If it hits me all at once, I think
Yeah,
I will.
because I feel
I
like
think I
that
will.
wouldn't be fun. Like,
Yeah. So that's why I
yeah.
cut it. I take it slow so that it's not hitting me all at once.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Because like I said, when I have any more than 2, I feel like I'm ready to just bounce through the house. Like I'd like actually jump
Yeah.
out of here. So that makes it really kind of not fun. So with streaming, you just told us that you're just in it for the fun now. You want to have a good time. You want to reach out to marginalized communities.
Yeah.
And so, what made you decide to pivot to that?
Um, the guy the lady hates. Celluxies. Sorry. 9 times out of 10 when I go to a new stream, the streamer will call me Celluxies, and I have no idea why, but that's what happens like every time, and it's really funny.
I'm pronouncing it correct.
Um,
Like Celluxies is correct, right?
it's supposed to be like galaxies, so it's just like Celluxies, but nobody ever pronounces it like that, and I stopped correcting people, so I don't even care anymore.
Now it makes sense. Celluxies, guys. I've been educated today. Look at that. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. I like it. I like it.
Yes. Yeah, it's for some reason it's difficult. It doesn't bother me that much. It's all a made up word anyway. The only
Right.
part that's real is the first part, which is
So
half of my name.
well, okay. So how did you come up with that? Was it literally you're just like cell galaxy Celluxies?
So my character in game was named Celluxx because all of my characters are cell puns. My priest is Salvation. My warlock is Cellwell. My demon hunter is Cellborn. Um, Trying to think of another one. My hunter is Cilantro. So they're all really stupid, right?
Are you kidding?
They're all like that. Every single one. My rogue is Cellmate. My mage is Celsius. Yeah, they're all like that. Every single one.
So
And I needed
celery.
yes, Celemental, Celerity. My mom's got me. They know my names.
Those are good. Those are good. I like those. I like those a lot. God, I like those. That's funny.
So then my paladin, there was nothing like right on the surface, right? So I just put Lux on the end because it means light, and Celluxx kind of like rolls off the tongue, and people can still shorten it to Cell, and it works. It's fine. It's good. And then when I transferred to a new realm, my new realm, Tichondrius, Celluxx was taken by a human male ret paladin who hasn't logged in since Nighthold.
The Dirty
So-
Alliance taking our names.
For real. So then I just put the IES on the end, and I was like, fine, this is good, it's fine. And then that became my Twitch handle as well. I changed it from my old handle,
Mhm.
and it just became my username on everything so that I could have uniformity and be like easy to find on every platform. And yeah, so it's completely made up. It just means cell plus light plus I needed a suffix. So
Oh man, I love it. I love the name. Sorry, we completely like derailed you from the conversation about talking about
Okay.
marginalized communities. But I saw the opportunity. I had to ask you about the name real quick. So what made you decide to reach out towards marginalized communities to focus on them?
So from day one with my stream, and part of the reason Celine Birch win.
Yeah,
Soon,
soon TM. Blizzard talk, Blizzard speak right there. We've got it going.
Sorry. Okay.
Trust me,
So from day one
I'm
with
right there
my
with you.
stream, from day one with my stream, and part of the reason I reached affiliate so quickly was because I was already gearing towards trying to make high-end WoW more accessible for people who generally aren't accepted in other online gaming
Yeah.
circles. Women, my Alphabet Mafia, um, other identities where your identity might come as a point of contention in a gaming community where typically you can ask questions like in a competitive gaming environment. So that was the goal from day one, was to answer questions that people felt like they couldn't answer elsewhere. And so over time, the more I got people asking me questions like, oh, what is this, what is this, or like I point something out that's like, hey, that's actually a slur, did you know that? Maybe don't do that. And stuff like just general, like people really don't know how to deal with autism, like really don't. Typically it just gets made fun of, like any autistic trait off the bat in a neurotypical setting. Gets made fun of, like hyperfixating on things, not knowing how to approach a situation, being bad with social cues in general, not understanding sarcasm. All of these things, they all just get like immediately pounced on in especially a gaming environment where people are constantly trying to roast each other, right?
Right.
So I consider it my job to make things like that make more sense, so that people know that even like their unintentional acts of discrimination are still acts of discrimination, and it's all things to be aware of, because
Absolutely.
there's a whole lot that people don't realize is hurtful.
Yeah.
And then I get people who are like, "Oh, but that doesn't, I wasn't trying to be hurtful, so it doesn't matter, and I'm going to keep doing it in other chats." And I'm like, "Well, I guess I tried."
Listen. I am glad to have someone who's trying in the world, because if people don't try, then the world's gonna go to hell. I mean, it's already in hell, but it's gonna it'd be even worse than what it is now. And because as a minority myself, the few months ago, there's all of the Asian hate going on, so
Yeah.
it was scary times for someone who looked like me.
Yeah.
And to have you doing all of these great things for communities, for marginalized communities, to be able to make these places safer and to be able to educate people, I think is the most important thing. Because it's like you said, they may not know. And being able to educate someone, I think, is the most important thing. And so how has that been with the education? Do most people latch onto it, or or was it
Um,
like you said, like the people who are just like, nah, brah?
it kind of depends. I mean, if people come to my streams a few times, they'll probably like, because I have a wide range of reactions too, depending on how I'm feeling that day, how many times I've gotten that comment, whether I took it personally or not, or whether somebody in my chat that I felt like I needed to like immediately defend. Like, I've got a couple. I mean, all of my mods are also marginalized identities, of course, because that's just how it works. So if I know one of them are there and somebody says something that particularly targets them, I'm like, hey, I will beat your ass. And so but I do it much more nicely than that, because Twitch will get mad at me if I say it like that. So I'm like,
Oh man, you're way better than me then, because that's what I always tell them. I like the troll comes in here and I'm like, they're mean to someone. I'm like, I will fucking kill you. Do you understand me? I know I'm breaking TOS right now, but I don't give a shit. I'll be back, just like all these hotspots.
the first thing I tried to do is like, hey, did you know that you're being a fucking asshole? Because, like I said, education very important. So if the first time I try and I'm like, hey, please don't say that to people, that's really inconsiderate. And oh my god, I had somebody come in once and tell me, fuck, what was it? We were talking about my disabilities and my
Uh huh.
illnesses, and they were saying like, um, I don't even remember what it was, but it was seriously like the most offensive shit that I have ever heard. It was, fuck, I really wish I could remember it, or if I could give any context to any of my mods that were there, but it was like, oh, you really don't look sick or something like that, or one of those like, I hope you feel better because you're so pretty or something like that. I get that
Ooh.
a lot. I get that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Well,
And every time
that's
I get, oh yes, M knows. It must really suck to be you. It was like, wow, I would hate to live your life. It must really suck to be you. And I was just like, It's
What?
actually pretty all right, but thanks.
What? I mean, it's 'cause people like that. They're just in the head. They don't get it. They're just we I'm gonna be this awful human being and fuck what anyone else thinks because I'm on the internet and I can do that. And it's so hard that to deal with that kind of stuff. I can understand, but it's a good thing you have your coping mechanisms like blasting music all the way up at the top of eardrum bursting levels.
I think that one in particular just hit really hard for me because I've struggled with depression
Oh yeah,
my entire life, and there were years where I was like, yeah, it does suck to be me. I'd actually rather not be me at all. I'd rather just like not exist at all instead, actually. So it took me so long to get to this point where I'm like, you know what? I like my life. I love my life. I love who I am. I appreciate all of my struggles and who they made me become. No, it isn't fair that I had to go through all of these horrible things to learn these lessons. Like, life could have taught me these lessons in a much less harmful manner. However, I'm happy with where I'm at now. I'm happy with where I'm going. So I'm happy to explain to other people how I got here.
that's such a
And
great perspective. I love
yeah,
that. I'm sorry. It's such a great perspective though. But would you say that content creation has helped you with that? Being able to
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's given me like this purpose of like educating people and getting to know people and trying to be a safe space and a bright spot in people's lives in an environment where they normally don't get that that has given me a purpose, and it's been really like just really good for my life in general, and it's been something that I take really seriously and I enjoy a lot. And for the most part, I try to do it with humor. I try to educate with humor, but a lot of the time there's some serious talks too,
yeah.
and I love every minute of it, genuinely.
Well, that's all. Yeah, because I think the hard part is trying to help people understand the hidden, the things
Yeah.
that they don't see, the things that they can't see, they won't they can't understand, right? And you try to help them to understand that, and it's such an awesome thing that you're trying to do. So, which plushie or squish mallow is your favorite? That's a
I
great
have
question.
an immediate answer for this. One moment.
Oh, immediate answer. She picked the
Okay.
most colorful one, and I'm
This is my koala. Her name is Katya. I have a big version and a small version.
is
I'm
that the big
obsessed with
version?
koalas. Yes, this is the
Okay.
big version.
I was about to say, because if that was a small version, I was like, I need to see the big version. Oh my lord. There's the small version.
Here's the small version. I have two versions because she's my favorite.
Yeah, so Syndrala just said that's the coziest backdrop I think I've ever seen. I legit agree with him. I kind of want to just jump into your background
I get that so
and just
often.
like
They're very comfortable. I'll
yeah.
admit.
I feel like I could also just get lost in there, right? Like you could just like
There's so many. I only sleep on one half of this bed because I'm very small, and I either have to push them all onto one half or they'll like scatter to the floor on each sides of my bed. And then when I get ready for stream, I set them up like that so that it's nice and doesn't look like a mess.
so we got that special treatment for the podcast.
You do.
Oh my god, guys. We're special now.
Worse.
And listen, from all my poor audio viewers out there, I'm really sorry you're missing out on some beautiful stuff. Watch the video version when you get a chance. Trust me, you'll love it.
Alt text, there's 36 stuffed animals on my bed. Many of them are large, 24 to 27 inches. Many of them are small, 8 to 10 inches. They're all varying animals and varying colors of animals. I love them all very much. I have a binder full of their names and backstories.
Oh, can we see the binder? Do we have the binder
Of
close to
course.
us?
I'm so glad you asked. This is the binder.
Oh my god.
It's got their little tags in it and their stories.
So what's the process like when you add a new one to the family?
I haven't gotten a new one in a while because I started collecting them with my ex-girlfriend, and then we
Uh-huh.
broke up, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, here's the thing, though. Part of the reason I stopped doing it is because they cost money. They cost money.
Right.
So.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at what she's. MK said something.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. For people who are watching this audio, like, so one of the viewers said she has a binder full of squishmallows like Mitt Romney with women. Anyways, that was very awesome.
Okay, I can read to you Katya's backstory.
Please.
Like.
And which one's Katya? Was it the big one, right?
That's the panda, or the panda, fucking koala I just showed you. My favorite animal, and I can't even.
Listen, if you get a panda one, though, just let me know. I'm a very, very big fan of them.
I'll let you know. Okay. It says, meet Katya. Wait, I'll grab her again. The big and small have the same name. Meet Katya. She and her mom moved to a new country recently, and sometimes she gets homesick. Her new favorite thing to do is rollerblade by the beach. When she grows up, Katya wants to become a lawyer like her mom and help people.
I love it. I'm in love.
They all have little backstories like that.
It's so heartwarming. It is so heartwarming. I love it.
They're all adorable like that. One of them was like, oh, he's got friends all over the world, and he likes to bring them together and cook a great feast or something like that.
Right. So is this helping to cope as well? Like a sort of maybe, or is this just like fun?
It's definitely a coping mechanism. Like, so before I started streaming and before other people like saw my room and my existence and that kind of thing, before I was on public display, I was in a very deep depression for a few years, and my room was just like gray, white, nothing on the walls. There was nothing anywhere, no self-expression whatsoever. And then like as I've gotten more comfortable with myself and like what I like, and rejecting the hatred of the color pink, and re-embracing like my favorite color is orange, which it was my favorite color in junior high as well, but I am autistic, and so all I wore for each article of my clothing every day for those 2 years was the color orange, including pants, shirt, backpack, accessories, shoes, socks. Anyways, I got bullied. So
yeah.
Getting to adulthood and getting to like get into all of those things that I love, and like doing the inner child healing and stuff, I end up with a lot of stuff like this where it's like, yeah, it seems like it's for kids, but it's also just massively comforting for me because I get to like get back in touch with what I really love, and it's a good time.
Yeah, and I feel like streaming definitely can help with that too, because you're connecting with other people who share those same ideals. Like everyone in here so far has just been nonstop. This is the greatest thing ever.
So, everybody loves the Squishmallows. I didn't even buy them with the intention of them being the stream backdrop, but I'm happy that they are.
Well, it has to be validating, right? To meet other people who are,
It's really nice when I get other people in chat who are like, oh my god, I love your Squishmallows. And I'm like, thank you. I collect them.
Well, that's because, you meeting people with similar tastes, similar interests, and you can bond because of that. You can come together because of that. And that's always one of the things I love about streaming. So my question for you now is, what's one of the things that you've loved so far about streaming? What has been your favorite part?
Oh, I've met a lot of really amazing people that I wouldn't have met without streaming. And I've gotten a lot more comfortable with myself, and the list is so long. There's really like, I definitely struggle with streaming sometimes where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this was too much, this is too much, I want to quit, I want to be done. But that's just my normal bi-weekly breakdown,
Oh yes,
and then
definitely. As a streamer, 100%.
And then I take a few days off and I'm like, wait, I miss it.
Come back. Yeah. So you're talking, is it just the feelings of you're not enough, like I'm not good at this, or do you ever go through those motions?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the biggest thing for me is the chronic illness juggle with it, because it's like I see streamers who are growing much more than me who stream like 8 to 10 hours a day, like 5 days a week or something like that. And they do YouTube and they do TikTok and they do the Instagram and they do Reels and they post on other socials, and I'm just sitting here like,
How?
what? Are you sleeping?
Yeah. That's that, because that's always my question. I'm just like, how the fuck? Give me your secrets, please, please.
I know. That's like when we were on Ariana's show and then Logan rattled off his schedule and I was just sitting there like,
Well, Logan cheats too. He's got someone on his side, and by cheating I mean he has a very great idea of hiring someone. Anyway, yeah, Logan, you should have seen this one coming, dude. But yeah, I mean,
I admire it. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm going to guess that part of it is because Logan is ex-military. I do not have that discipline at all, not even a little bit. My biggest bad habit is impulse spending, and I have literally no way to rein it in. So I just
anyways.
my lack of self-discipline, like I am very self-disciplined in a lot of aspects, and then when it comes to like, oh, I just want to finish this one more thing before I go to bed, and then I'm awake until 7 a.m.
Yeah, well, we talked about that because you were like, I have not slept.
That's sleep today either.
Well, at least it's a little bit better. How long have you been? How long have you been awake?
Okay, yesterday I crashed really hard, so I slept like 10 hours in the middle of the day.
God, I'm so jealous.
And then I woke up at like 8 p.m., rolled out of bed. My guild was like, hey, do you want to do keys? I was like, fuck yeah. And then, yeah.
So you've been awake since 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Last night.
Yeah, but I've gotten so much done in that time.
So, name a couple of things. Because I'm doing the math. It's 12. It's oh, I forgot you're 2 hours behind me too. So, oh man, the math. Sorry, there's too much math.
I was cultivating content for my friendship website that I don't know if I can name again. I was
feel free to
TikTok. Okay, well, I was doing stuff for OnlyFans for several hours, and then just like creating TikToks. I posted my first TikTok today. I'm following a couple like trend alert accounts doing that, and trying to think what else.
Yeah,
I showered and I did my makeup,
which is always nice. Which is listen, you're like way better than me making bed. I couldn't. I'd roll out of bed and I'm like, all right, well, that was fun. Which yes, guys. By the way, go check out Celluxies. I got it right that time. TikTok. You posted it today, right? It just went live today.
Yeah, like right before we started.
Well, there you go, guy. Right before we started, it is literally hot off the presses. And I'm guessing the TikTok username is Celluxies. Is that where people can find you? There you go, chat. Go support her. Listen, guys. I know we might have a lot of boomers in here who might be like, "Oh, TikTok, that Chinese spyware." Listen, guys. TikTok, seriously, support the creators. Support your creators on all platforms, literally. Because let me tell you guys. The problem with Twitch right now is it is a very, very, very scary place for a lot of people. And yes, guys, I mean, like, well, so I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't know if I can promote OnlyFans. I don't think I can. I think, TOS wise.
We can't, we're not allowed to say go sub to it, but it's just like, hey,
we can't talk.
Exists.
We can't talk about the friendship website where you can go and support your favorite creators on there, which is incredibly great. Theoretically speaking, if you did want to go there, guys. Theoretically, though, yeah, chat can though. Wink. I can't. Not as a Twitch partner. Anyways, friends.com.
Well, you can go to my Twitter. You can go to my landing page. It'll have all of my links, including the link to my TikTok. Okay, I'm not just promoting one site. I've got plenty of free websites where you can check me out and all of my content.
There you go, guys. See, seriously, go show her some love, though, guys. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Celluxies as well. Please go and follow her on Twitch as well. But yeah, see, it's like what Cal was saying, though. You want to diversify. You want to support your creators wherever they are, because listen, guys, Twitch, no, scary place, very scary place. With the hate rates, the hosses, it is not fun. Which is why Cell doing what she does is freaking amazing, and it's something that I applaud you for, because it can't be easy, you know, because he's
No. Every time I stream, it's like I lose one of my brain wrinkles, and then I have to take a couple days off to grow it back.
I never heard that before. I never heard that expression.
My brain smooths out a little bit, and I need a day or two for it to shrivel back up again.
I've never heard anyone say that. Anyway, sorry. If I hear something funny, I get really into it. I just love it. I love it so much. Anyways, I gotta get back on track after that. That was really funny. I'm sorry. I'm gonna steal that.
I'm a really funny person.
I'm gonna steal that, by the way. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, Chad, I've been reading you for too long. My brain is smoothing. I'm losing a wrinkle right now.
Back in 2018, I was guildmaster of a guild, and the name of our guild was Smooth Brains, because before we were our own guild, we were a team in another guild, and I was the raid leader. And so whenever they would do something stupid, I'd be like, you guys are being fucking smooth-brained. And then, then that just kind of bore that meme. It's also hilarious because, did you know koalas have completely smooth brains with no brain wrinkles?
Yes, yeah. Which is probably why they drop from trees and try to kill everyone.
I love koalas so much. I wish I was that stupid. Oh my god.
Life would be great to be that stupid.
Life would be so much easier.
I mean, you just hang around in a tree all day and eat leaves. Like,
poisonous leaves.
Poison.
Eucalyptus is poisonous to them.
And they just eat it. Yeah, they spread STDs too. I mean, how much fun is that? And they sleep. It's, oh my god. But they won't eat it if it's on a plate. That's because they're stupid. All right, give them a break. They're too smooth brain for plates.
Yeah, I get people who are like, your favorite animal's koala? Don't you know all these horrible things about them? And I'm like, the horrible things are why I love them.
That's
why would you?
It's relatable.
Exactly, Gwen. Wouldn't it be nice to not have any anxiety about anything?
Yeah,
oh my god.
You would just get to enjoy life.
That would free up so many hours of my day.
It's like what they say, guys. Ignorance is bliss. It really is. Being the ignorance is just But anyways, so what has been some of your least favorite things as a content creator, though? Some of the challenges that you've come across. We've already touched a little bit on them, but what just really stands out in your mind as like, this drains me.
I think like the normal stuff that people told me early on would bug me, like answering the same questions over and over. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm happy to answer those. It's really just the like when I get the comments that are like, you're too pretty to be sick all the time. Or my favorite thing is when people will DM me on Instagram and try to hit on me, right? And then I'm like, no, thank you, I'm a lesbian. And then they come into my stream later that day and they're like, hey, do you open your Instagram DMs? You should open your Instagram DMs. And I'm like, I don't want to see your penis. And then people get upset at me.
Yeah, I am incredibly fortunate to be a male creator. I don't have to deal with that.
There's a lot of interesting stuff because it's like I don't know, like I'm pretty and I'm not gonna like be around the bush on that. Like I'm generally conventionally attractive. That's part of the deal, shtick, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, listen, if you know it, you know it.
Yeah, if you know it, you know it. And I just get a lot of really interesting interactions in my day-to-day on stream and on my other social medias and that kind of thing. And I get some really wacky questions that, like, if I wasn't demonetized immediately by going on any platform with these questions, I would definitely talk about them, but they're really questionable.
You know what? We push the boundaries here on this podcast.
Oh god.
We can get one, and I think I can skirt around it.
You want an example? Okay. I had one person ask me, because they knew that I had an OnlyFans. They asked
Uh-huh.
me if I ever spiced things up in competitive WoW by sexting my teammates in the middle of competitive World of Warcraft gameplay. Yeah.
What?
And I was like, no? Why the fuck would I do that?
What the fuck? What? What is going through people's heads? What is?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Oh boy. And okay, so we've talked about it a little bit now with the the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Has that made your life more difficult, or has it made it
No.
better? Has it like because you're actually, I think, one of the first OnlyFans creator I've talked to openly about this.
Yeah. I'm super open about it because it's been like there are some questionable experiences for sure. But here's my thing. I was already getting like dick pics and harassment, and I was already getting gross comments, and I was already getting all these things. But now I'm also getting paid for it.
It's like the best of both worlds, right? You get the little, you
It's
get the
kind of hard to argue. So, like, yes, it definitely opens the door for more of it, but it's also like it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't ever open my Instagram DMs. That's like when my friends will send me something and I'll open it like 8 weeks later and they're like, hey. And I'm like, hi, listen, so don't DM me here. I
This is a
really
bad
can't
idea.
get through all the spam, so please don't. I'm like always, I think the max amount of requests you can have on Instagram is 50. I get like 4 a day and I don't delete any of them. So they're just constantly, yeah. Anytime I post.
That has to be
And
fun.
it's mostly just like slightly amusing. Some of them are a little funny. I do use it for humor with my friends. I don't do videos where I'm like, here's an expose of all the weird creepy DMs people send me. Maybe I will someday if I block out all the names and stuff, but for the most part,
That'd make for a fun
I
YouTube video or TikTok or something. I'm just saying,
for the most part, I respect people's privacy, even if they're spam bots. So, but I will go through and like last night I was reading some of them to my guildmates, and they were like, "That one seems legit," and I'm like, "I promise you, it's not. I promise you, it's not." Like always.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what exactly what Gwen is saying. It's free content. Block out those names. Boom, TikTok video. Duh.
I gotta start like screenshotting and saving them. I think I send them to my friends, but now I have to go like dig them out. Like I said, you hit a maximum number and they start going away. So
Right. So with the OnlyFans, how has that been? Has it been? Because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it can be kind of empowering, at least from
oh, it
my
absolutely
perspective.
is. I mean, for me as a disabled person, especially who has a signed letter from the government that basically says there's no job for you that can accommodate your needs in the current American economy or anything on the immediate economic landscape.
Is it what? Quick question on that: is that because of COVID, or is it just they literally can't do it?
Yeah, I just literally can't.
Okay.
I mean, between my health is super irregular. I have chemo once a month, but I also take it daily and I take it once a week. I'm on 3 types, as I mentioned. That can really throw a loop in things. Every single day is a total like coin flip whether or not I'm like functional that day. I mean, I'm having a flare right now, and
Are you okay? Do we need to? Are we
oh,
good?
I'm good.
Okay.
No. So a flare is like it can last like a week or 2 weeks where things like pain is just more severe and things are more sensitive and that kind of thing. Um, but OnlyFans is really awesome because like a few nights ago I turned out like 3 weeks worth of sets, and now I don't have to do that for a few weeks, and I'm having a flare now. So it all works out. Now I get to take that time off but still be putting out content. And it's pretty rare to get a type of content creation or a job in general where you can have that work model of like work really hard for a week and then take the rest of the time off. And yeah.
So we have an interesting question from MK. Why are you having the flare though?
She knows why, and that's why there's a kappa. However, it's because of my menstrual cycle. It causes worse. Most of the things that cause me pain are inflammatory, and periods can exacerbate that. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. I was talking about overworking.
I literally told you this, Em, like this morning.
Wow. Listen, I told you guys, this podcast pushes boundaries, all right? We're going everywhere.
I really, like, I'm super open about all of this, so if people want to know that being a girl makes everything worse, I'm happy to tell them that. I'm happy to say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because being a woman content creator especially on this platform, you've told us, we've heard the of the dick pics you get sent and all of that, all of this, all blah 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 blah. I mean, like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So like what was that? What's that like? Like to deal with that on a regular basis? Is that like just wear you down after a while? You're just like, fuck. Because like I said earlier, I'm fortunate to be a male. I don't know how to deal with this. The only thing I had to deal with is the occasional person coming in and making fun of my race.
Yeah. I have never known anything different. I've always been like I'm cis, always been a woman. I've always been a target of harassment. And then like I don't know. I don't remember the first time like a man like looked at me sexually or anything like that, because it's like just I was very young. I started puberty at like 13, 14 or even earlier, and it's just kind of always happened. Anywhere that I've existed, it's also welcomed a bit of unwelcome advances and people assuming things, especially like I don't look like a stereotypical lesbian, right? Like not what people who are bigoted, I'm not their mental image of what a lesbian is.
Right.
So I get a lot of like, oh god, I get so many comments that are like, oh, a guy will come on to me and I'll be like, no thank you, I'm a lesbian. And then they're like, boy. Oh, you just haven't had the right dick yet, or whatever it is.
There it is. There it is. That's always the go-to response. Oh my goodness gracious.
And I hate that response because it also excludes trans women. Because to me, it's not about the parts at all. It's just about the woman attached to them.
Right.
And yeah, it's just like when people say that shit to me, I'm like, wow, thank you for letting me know that I never want to interact with you again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's just like the golden ticket to I am going to look the other way and never look in your fucking direction again, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Basically.
So I when coming on to Twitch or when dealing with all this content creation, I guess that must have been just like, all right, whatever. This is
yeah, I mean,
the unfortunate truth.
I definitely have a thicker skin about it than some other women content creators. I know that there are some women who like they get comments like every day and it just really wears them down. One of my closer content creation friends who will remain unnamed, she talks about it. She vents very frequently, like in her Discord and sometimes on her like fan house and stuff like that. And I feel for her completely. I just like people we all receive it differently,
Right.
And I'm not saying that like she needs to toughen up or whatever. Like that should not be the solution. The solution should be this should not be happening to her at all.
Yeah.
But it's just it really depends on the person. I don't know why it's easier for me to tolerate that stuff. I think part of it is just because it's like nope, that comment means nothing to me, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because it's just the diversity amongst people, right? The way that humans work. We're all different, and that's what makes
Yeah,
us that's what makes us amazing, is because we're all different. We're not the same. And so coping mechanisms are different. And the good
for
thing
sure.
is that you're there for her, and that's the most important part. Because for me, my coping mechanism is an entire box of pizza. Whoops. How did that happen? I don't know.
Listen, not all coping mechanisms are healthy. As long as you're aware that it's unhealthy, and it's your life, you know.
Yeah, I guess after the 10th box of pizza, that's probably not healthy anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, it's like when trolls come in and be like, it just doesn't matter because they don't, and for someone's opinion to matter, they have to matter to you. And I think as a content creator, though, it's really hard to do that because for some people, it's really hard to deal with the idea that some stranger on the internet who we've never met, who we've never interacted with, just wants to be mean to us. You know, some human being on the other side of this screen wants to be mean to me for no reason.
Uh, for some reason, I'm really good at handling people not liking me. Like it's never been a like I'm not everybody's cup of
Man,
tea. I've always known that.
I'm
Like
so jealous of
people
that.
people tell me like I mean I've just had people my entire life like because like I said I grew up autistic. I've just had people my entire life who didn't like me for one reason or another, and my mom always said that she was also really jealous of the fact that it never really bothered me, like me getting bullied growing up. I did stop some habits just because I was like tired of getting those comments, but I didn't actually care that they thought less of me or anything like that.
So even person to person, it didn't bother you.
Yeah, it just like I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. I wish I had some like
I wish you could too.
hidden secret. Yeah,
Because someone insults me, I'm like, but why?
if it's someone that I care about, if it's something that I'm like, yes, I admire this person and I want them to think well of me, then I'm like, oh God. But for the most part, if it's just some like random person or someone that's even like on the same level of like coworker maybe, where it's like, oh, this person like they're not above or below me, like we're equals, then that won't really matter to me much. It's just like, yeah, okay, we differ about this one thing. We don't have to be besties. It's fine. You can dislike some aspects of my personality. Like I'm generally pretty talkative, and I have a lot of opinions, and that's not always welcome. So,
That's why we're on this
but
platform,
yeah,
because you can find the people who do welcome it. And being talkative is a very strong
it's true.
talent to have, especially
I'm
as a creator.
I'm so good at talking to myself, and that's come so much in
Mm,
handy once I started streaming.
mm. God, hasn't it ever, guys? Hasn't it ever?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just jealous of that, though. I really wish, because even if it's a stranger, if they're like, yeah, I don't like you, please like me. I just want you to like me. Why don't you like me?
For some reason, I guess it's just for me, it's like I've tried to be I've been a people pleaser. I've tried to appeal to everybody, and it's like no matter what, people are still gonna dislike some part of it. People will even dislike that you're well liked. So it's like
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times. I remember when I got like a couple of months after I got partnered, I got an email from someone who was like, "Sam, you got to stop faking it." I'm like, it's basically that's what it was. It was like, Sam, you were crying on stream, to get more subs. Like, what really? And it was like, then you got partnered on the day Shadowlands came out. Like, how convenient. I'm like,
oh
dope.
my god.
Yeah, well, people are
Yeah,
just
'cause
like
that's
that.
up to you.
And I'm gonna be honest, that bothered me for like 2 weeks. I thought about that stupid email. I was just like, oh, what the fuck do you mean? My fucking alligator tears. I know it was just so frustrating. It was just like, man, because of like, oh man, I couldn't believe it. I could the
That stuff is really hard to hear from people that you thought were like colleagues or friends. Part of the reason my mods will push me every once in a while to apply for partner. I completed the path to partner with my Raider IO week, and I applied then knowing that it was going to get declined since it was all hosts and stuff like that. But I haven't applied since then, since March. And I just kind of don't really want to because I all it is a check mark, and I've heard bad things about people like stopping support of a streamer once they get partnered, or
Hmm.
like causing infighting and that kind of thing. Like all of these social barriers that I just don't want to have to think about. And I don't want people to see the check mark and think that I'm like less accessible and then they can't ask me questions now and that kind of thing. And so it's a really complicated thing, especially because it's not like there was that rumor going around for a while about partners getting a better split of like sub earnings, and then that got dispelled recently publicly,
Yes.
where people were like, no, that's not true. Only the best of the best streamers get a 70-30 split on tier 2 and 3 subs, not even tier 1.
Yeah,
So like
it's
Asmongold still 50-50 on all of his tier 1 subs.
Patreon, guys. Patreon. By the way, I just want to throw that out there real quick. Anyways, because it's tough, when I became a partner, I was like, okay, we're a partner, great, we got the check mark, we got more emotes, and it is also just that stress you put on yourself to get there, to get that 75 average
Oh my
viewer.
God. The push to partner, I think, would actually kill me. Like, honestly, I do not want to do that.
Yeah, well, because you hyperfixate on the numbers at that point. Like, you try not to. The advice: don't look at the numbers. But when when
That
you're
never
like,
works.
yeah, it never works.
It
Do you look at
never
the
works.
do you look at the numbers? Do you look at your numbers?
Of
and you're
course
like,
I look at the numbers.
Yeah, and does it affect you? Like, you see one day that's a little bit higher, a little bit lower, a little bit, or
I know, and it's like, what was I streaming that day? And for me, it's like, what was I wearing that day? What did my makeup look like? What was I doing?
yeah. Well, because it's like it's the little things that you don't think about. It
Yeah.
really is. It's like, oh man, it could have been anything. It could have been, Asmongold was streaming that day, and everyone was watching him.
It could have just been, one of my friends decided to stream at the same time, and then people didn't realize I went live or whatever it was. And that stuff never makes me mad or anything. It's just like part of the biz, I guess.
Yeah,
Is like
it is part.
people will stream.
It is part of the business, and you can ask Cal Masutra, who's another partner in here right now. By the way, hi Cal. Because we were like looking at the numbers all the time, and it's, oh my god, it was stressful. And then you put the letter in, and then you're just sitting there and you're waiting for them, and you're like, this is the most stressful period of my entire life, I think. When are they gonna get back to me? And I don't wish that on anyone. Guys, path to partner, don't even look at it. Don't even worry about it until you're at like 70 viewers. Then life is good. So you mentioned, though, a little bit earlier about your mother being very supportive of this.
Yeah.
So supportive in the aspect that she is like full steam ahead. If you want to stream, do it. If this can be something that you can do it. And how has the reaction been towards that when you tell her about your successes? Because I'm going to be honest. I think of you as a success in my eyes. I think you're very awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, having you on this show is an honor for me. Okay.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to get to talk about stuff that's like outside of just WoW, and getting to talk about like the business parts of streaming and everything else that goes into it. Because there's a lot more to it behind the scenes than I think people realize. Especially with like the other stuff on top of that. Anyway, my mom, back in November 2020, when I got approved for disability, and then I finally had money to buy an actual gaming PC, which is how I made the decision to start streaming, by the way. I don't think I ever actually answered that. I got my PC. I got my PC with a good CPU and graphics card, and I was like, "Yep, we're going. We're doing it." Yeah.
Let's go.
She helped me figure out the internet problems we were having. We were all on AT&T line, but there was a monopoly here. And then we all moved to the Spectrum line, but there's still a monopoly here, and there's a lot of congestion. So then finally, after a couple months of trying to figure it out, the rest of the family is on the Spectrum line, and then I have my own individual AT&T line, which has an upload speed of like 4, right?
Oh, that's brutal.
So so I stream at like a 2K bitrate or something like that.
That is like brutal.
It's insanely low. Yeah. So the fact that I stream it all is like, there were a lot of compromises to be made here.
Yeah, well, that's sometimes how it is with streaming. That's one of the most frustrating parts about it, is that the compromises that you have to make, because you want to give your viewers the best quality possible. Sometimes you have poo-poo internet.
It's true. And poo-poo computers and technical difficulties and if there was one piece of advice I could go back and tell myself to be like, hey, it's okay. This happens to everybody. It's technical difficulties. Like, you're not an idiot for having technical difficulties. It's not just like a not understanding computers thing. It's just like computers suck.
Are you a
They suck.
perfectionist with that kind of stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely I am. Everything needs to be perfect all the time.
So like the first stream that you did, were you like, this needs to be 100% perfect?
I didn't even start streaming until I had like a face cam and I had like a chat block and I had like panels and shit. I had everything set up from the get-go, and then I got into it and things have just like slowly evolved from there.
So,
But I didn't even start until it was like
well,
off the bat ready to go.
okay, so what was that first stream like though? Because I am a little bit curious. Because from my first stream, I was like, "Huh, yeah, I'm here."
So the way that I do social interactions is I go to other people doing that social interaction and I take mental notes because I'm autistic and I don't know what I'm doing. So a lot of it was just like watching other streams and like how do those streamers interact with their viewers, and how do I greet people? How do I ask them how they're doing? How do I talk about what I'm doing? How do I answer questions without being like negative at the same time, and
Right.
that kind of thing. And
It's
it's
basically
just
like
been a
doing
lot
homework.
of, yeah, basically everything I do, because I'm a perfectionist as mentioned, I do a lot of homework first. Like, so much, because I want it off the bat to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's extremely unrealistic, and I hold myself to impossibly high standards. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't have it any other way.
There you go, guys. See, I do have to agree though on the unrealistic part from because guys, whenever I say this, it's always, if you have an idea, just get started on it. Just start working on it. It's gonna be very difficult to get everything 100% perfect. And like what I've been learning with my reviews, my first review, I'm looking at that, I'm kind of cringing now. This one I'm working on, still cringing, but cringing less. But I guess the important thing is that you got it running. I do have another question for you though, with the aspect of Twitch. When you started streaming, had you known of Twitch before? Like, were you regularly watching streamers, or were you just like?
This is actually a really good question. I I knew of Twitch, but I didn't really use it very much other than to watch Ellesmere, and I've been subbed to Ellesmere for like 20 months or something like that. It's been a long time. And he was basically the only streamer I watched because I was just like learning Holy Paladin. And then I remember, I don't know if Jordan is still here, but they gifted me a sub in one of our friends' channels back in like 2019, and I freaked out because I was like, why is my name on screen? And I was like, please don't ever do that again.
I'm so sorry. What an experience that must have been, though. You probably had you were just like, ah.
I swear to God, one time I asked one of my friends to stream Raid because I had chemo that day and I was struggling to keep food down and that kind of thing, so I couldn't raid that day. And I asked one of my friends to stream for me, and I went and I followed him, and it was like my old tag was Ghoulish Gal, and it was like Ghoulish Gal just followed, and I was like, why? Why does it say that on the screen? I didn't want that. And so I have severe anxiety.
Well, I don't blame. Listen, it can catch you off guard if you're new to the whole streaming culture and everything, where the name flashes on screen, and
I didn't know a single thing, and I was so like perplexed by people. Yes, offline follows, that's what I used to do. And I was just so perplexed by people like wanting to be recognized by the streamer. I mean, like, even now, streamers that I've followed for or been sub to for 20 months follow me on a couple platforms, and I'm like, hi, why are you here?
How did you get here?
Why are you here?
Why? What brought you here? But still, that has to be kind of nice too at the same time, right? Like, this person you've been sub to for 20 months is now following you. That has to be a little bit gratifying, right? You're like,
it is. It's also just like, I still like, I still get like starstruck with people, right? Like
Oh,
even
me
there
too.
are streamers that I talk to regularly and I'll like send memes back and forth with on Instagram, and every once in a while I'm like, oh my god, she knows who I
Yeah, that's how I am with Kama Sutra still, even though I've like known him for a year and we talk all the time, it's just like, oh my god, it's Kama Sutra. And because I mean, like, Cal was one of the first people who I talked to, like, seriously about streaming and everything. And it was just like, oh, what a guy. So,
That's how I feel with like Third Artifact and like Megasat and a couple other girls. I'm just like, wow, you're
oh
so
my god,
pretty and we're friends. That's so
yeah. Well,
cool.
that's how it is when I approach people about the podcast. I'm always like so nervous because I'm like, oh my god, this person's so cool. This person's so cool. They gotta say yes, otherwise I'm gonna cry in bed all day. Otherwise the box of pizza's coming out. Um, and that's how it was with you too. I was like, oh my god, like I'm reaching out to her. Like we talked once on the Ariana stream, and like, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So that's how it is, because I have a lot of social anxiety when it comes to talking to people.
Oh yeah, totally. I think that's like feel like streaming and stuff attracts a lot of people who are like ADHD and social anxiety and all that. And somehow it becomes easier over time to interact with new people if it's just like names in chat, right? And then over
Yes.
time it becomes like people in your community that you recognize talking on voice sometimes, that kind of thing. It's like a really good way to socialize with anxiety and other mental illnesses.
Yeah. Well, see, so Henry, you say I like attention. I do like attention. Yes, I am an attention
We
whore.
all like attention.
Yes, I'm an
Come
attention.
on.
I love attention. Give it to me. That's why I'm a streamer. But also at the same time, too, I don't know what it is. There's something in my brain that's like when I try to talk to people, and I know this podcast is probably disproving that theory right now, but let's roll with me here, guys. When I talk to people, I get very nervous because I'm in my head. I'm like, God, what if I'm stupid? What if I say something stupid? What if I say something offensive? What if I say something? And I want you guys to know this, because I come off very calm, cool, collected on stream. That's a lie. I come off very crazy, but I do suffer from trying to relate to people, from trying to understand people, from trying to be able to express myself, because when it's just tough. It's tough for me personally.
And I think that a lot of streamers who might not talk about or even know that they struggle with stuff like anxiety and ADHD and all that, they don't know that it's gonna be harder for them. And it's also a point of recognition where it's like if you stream with those kinds of things, it's definitely like there's a lot more like mental hurdles to work through, and there's a lot more like UN stream. For me, I do a lot of ruminating. I've got OCD, I got ADHD, I end stream. I'm like, oh my god, did I answer that person's question right? Oh my god, did I greet that one person correctly? Did I like actually ask them
Yeah.
how they were doing, or did I just ignore them completely?
Yeah, because you get in your head about it. I mean, I even do
Yeah.
that during stream, because I'm like, oh man, someone said something. I read it, but I didn't say anything because I was
Oh
too
my god,
busy
yes.
responding to someone else, and now I feel like a jackass.
Streamer
Now
brain is so real. It is.
mm-hmm.
It's really difficult to deal with.
Well, it's hard because you're talking to people, you're playing a game, a million thoughts are going through your head. You're looking at the OBS because you're like, am I ugly right now? The answer to that is always yes, guys, by the way.
I feel like I'm constantly like glancing at OBS, like, can you see my forehead right now? No? Okay. That's what the bangs are for.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh my god, it's just like you and me over here, like I got 5 head going on. So I listen, it's relatable. Like, look at this, they almost mistook my head for the moon landing, or it's tough, guys, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get about streamers, is that it is a very stressful job. It is a very, 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 very stressful job. Yes, we come off cool and collected, and it's also another reason too, guys, why it's hard for me to do community stuff, because I'm just like really nervous about talking to a lot of people at the same time. And I mean, like, even during this podcast with all of the guests that we've had so far, I always get really nervous talking to them, because I'm just like, well, this is a new person that I've never talked to before, face to face. Oh boy.
Hope I don't say anything stupid and ruin it.
Yeah. Hope they don't hate me by the end of it. literally the goal. If you don't hate me by the end of this podcast, it's success. It is a success
No,
to me.
I like you even more now.
There we go. Look at that, guys. We're good. Look, that's freaking. I'm gonna slap that on the freaking back of the box for this podcast. That's a quote, guys. But so with streaming, though, all of the people that you've met, all of the different content creators that you've met, did you think this was gonna happen though? Meeting all of these great people, or were you just like, whatever? It's obscurity.
It's kind of hard to answer. It's like, on one hand, I kind of expected to be anonymous forever. I kind of like going into it, I was like, I'm gonna be a small streamer, and that's cool with me. Some people might know who I am, but I get recognized like really often, like in game and just like out on other Discord servers and stuff, because like my name is the same everywhere, right? It's kind of hard to not recognize me. But every single time it happens, I'm like, whoa, you know who I am?
Right. And I mean, like,
why?
Well, you've done all of this in 8 months, and it's impressive. First of all, it's not only is it impressive, but it's also inspirational to me. You know, to see. Well, you got, because you think about it. This platform is now 12 years old. It came out in 2009, and the fact that people are still able to create a foothold for themselves, to create something for themselves, to create a community, is inspirational. And I'll always tell people this, guys. The second someone stops being able to build a community, that's when you're not able to be a streamer anymore. The good news is, though, is that you'll always be able to. So you'll always be able to relate to someone. And that's the most empowering thing, I think, as a creator.
I don't think there's been a single day in my streaming career where I've like not shared something about myself. Like I used to have like, before my room was like it's nice and exciting, and I love my room now, but when I first started streaming, like I said, it was real drab, and I had like not an actual green screen, but just like a green screen program, and we would use that. I had a channel point reward where people could change it to what they wanted, and I would put up their choice of background. So it was still like interactive, and it still like had a little bit of personality, and people would come and be like,
I like that.
what are the giraffes for? And it's like, well, I pronounced GIF as GIF, and so Emily had to make fun of me.
Oh, GIF is GIF, guys. There you go. The controversy comes out, guys.
This is my one character flaw, is I refuse to pronounce it as GIF.
Listen, guys. All right. Well, the podcast was going so well, but we're gonna have to stop it now. Oh, darn! Look at the time, guy. Crazy how that happens. Anyways, yeah. Listen, guys. The GIF versus GIF, it will divide households, and ruin friendships. It's just how it is. Okay, guys. All right. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Storm. It's GIF isn't graphic.
The creator of it says that it's GIF, even though graphics is a hard G. It says it's a soft G.
Well,
So
listen.
I'll pronounce it GIF until I die.
Listen, we don't need to go into this, guys. Listen, this was a good podcast so far. We were having such a fun time. We don't need to stop everyone. All right, pivot time. Where do you see yourself in the future, though, with streaming? Where do you want to take it? Do you want to become big, mega streamer, or do you want to be like, able to support yourself comfortably? Which I'm pretty sure, is going to be the obvious question. Yes, you do. But if you did, would you want to get to the level of, Asmongold, or XQC, or Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tatman? Do you want your contract to be bought out by YouTube for a multi-million dollars?
I don't know if I want to be that big, just because that's a lot of public scrutiny, and I think that when you get to that point, people see you as less human, and that's the last thing I want.
That is true.
I want to be seen as just another person living my life, and I happen to be able to share it with people, and that's a really positive thing for me. But generally, I don't feel like I'm like, yeah, get me in the streamer mansion. I'm gonna go be on a content creation team where all we do is, I don't know. I don't even know what they do in those mansions.
I don't think they even know what they do. Yeah, I don't think they know what they do. It's the streamer mansions are kind of scary to me. Just having a bunch of like, because first of all, being a streamer is just like you're streaming all the time. You're doing all, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't know about putting most of the streamers I know are kind of depressed all the time, and. And I don't know, putting a bunch of depressed people in the same house together is a successful idea.
You come to my stream sometime. We have tons of depressed people there.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just don't know if it's the best idea in the world. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like, we're chat's going crazy. It's like, that's why it's a mansion, so you can isolate. But yeah. I don't know. Like, I have problems washing the dishes, and I don't know. It's just like, yeesh. I don't know if I'd want to do a big content creation mansion like that. But yeah, so the idea of being huge like that doesn't appeal to you in any way?
Nah, I mean, I just want to be like, it would be nice to be known and to be able to get to a point where like it feels like the things that I say are making a difference and are educating people, and they are, but people often forget to like voice that to me. I mean, every once in a while when I'm like openly venting in my Discord where I'm like, "Hey everybody, why am I doing this? What? Why?"
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Hey, you've really helped me and you've taught me a lot, and I really appreciate your stream and your environment." And I'm like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard as a streamer sometimes to sit here, you know, and feel like you're going, all of the work that you're doing is for nothing, right? All of the everything that you're trying to do, all of the great ideas you have in your head, all of the people you've thought you helped that you don't know if you're helping. That can be really tough because you can't see it.
And I fixate on the people that I hurt instead. And that's not very healthy. But every once in a while, like, we've had a couple people come into stream, and I definitely should have been, like, kinder and more understanding of, like, autism and that kind of thing. And I'm definitely more that way now. But, like, early on, when I was playing with shittier people and who would, like, I would play this guy, this would come in and ask a question, then he would answer it in my voice comms. And I'd be like, but he would be mean about it, and then anyways, point is, it's easier for me to focus on the stuff that is concrete for me, and unfortunately that means like the people that I may have not, the situations I may not have handled correctly, and that's where like my rumination comes in, and that's when I need my friends to be like, "Hey, you do a lot more good than you do harm, so keep going." And just having that every once in a while is really nice.
Yeah. Well, is this the battle to educate people, to inform people? Is that something that you want to keep doing for the rest of your content creation career?
For the foreseeable future, yeah. Until it's to a point where it's like I mostly get harassment, and then it's like then I put the walls up. Then I just become the ego hot tub streamer, and I'm like, you don't get to know anything about me anymore.
Yeah, you're just gonna fully embrace it. Let's go. Let's.
Yeah, like that's the plan. That's my plan B.
That hot tub looking mighty nice right now. Listen, at least you got a plan B. My plan B is just like, oh God. that's what that is. Jesus. What is it?
God, I hope this works out.
I literally have nothing planned for it besides this. This is not going to go well if I don't do it. Yeah. Listen, Gwen, don't tell everybody about my plan B, which is also hot tub streaming. God, that was told to you in confidence. But yeah,
like Kama Sutra said, it's important to like. To do the work that I want to do, I want to be bigger and I want to have more of an influence, because that's the only way that I can try to make an impact. But I'm not necessarily just getting numbers for numbers. Like, it's not just about like, oh, I need this many followers. It's like I did that TikTok today, and it's like, what's a goal you want to achieve? And I was like, I don't know. What's something really reasonable and obtainable? 5K followers? Yeah, let's just go with that, and I'll put that on there.
I think you can do it. Like, I think you can make some really good content. Well, you got to think about it, right? You're doing all of these great things, and I think being able to put that onto different platforms, TikTok, YouTube, it is such a powerful tool. It is such a powerful mission that you are trying to accomplish, and I applaud you for that. I think that there need to be more people like you in the world, people who just care.
Yeah, and like Henry said, it takes a lot. It doing things the way that I do does take a lot out of me, and like I'm very open about my own stuff, but that also means that every time that I have to open up and talk about my own trauma, it's like it's not reopening old wounds, it's just like thinking about stuff that I am choosing to think about even though it's bad stuff and bad things happen to me. Like it still affects me even if it's not super apparent. But to me, it's worth it. To me, it's valuable that other people learn from my perspective and my experiences and all of that. So I'm happy to I don't think of it as like a sacrifice. I just think of it as like I don't know.
Sort of like
It's
it's not a sacrifice, more like a, oh man, I don't know the word for it either. Never mind. I thought I had a word,
like
but I
a
guess I didn't.
like a byproduct, I guess. Like it just kind of happens with what I want to achieve. But the thing is, with what I want to achieve, I want to appeal to people's empathy and their own experiences, and that means that I need to be vulnerable. So I'm happy to do that. Not everybody is though, and that's why I think that it's like a good task for me to
Yeah.
be able to
Well,
open up about.
vulnerability invites attack, right? It
Yeah,
can it,
for
it,
sure.
it can it can be very scary to make yourself vulnerable on the internet because you don't know who's watching. Um, and that's why it's why I think it's super important to have people like you on the platform, people who aren't afraid to talk about the hard things, the things that content creators. And that's another reason why we're doing this podcast, guys, is because we talked about it earlier, but and you talked about it, is dehumanizing the creator, right? We're no different, big streamers are no different than us. They go through the same struggles, they go through the same worries, they go through everything that we go through.
And I
Um
mean, we've seen the downfall of certain content creators. I'll just name like Gabby Hanna. Um, if you guys know anything about her, she was a YouTube and like Vine and other content creator, and she became like villain of the internet. And now she's I don't even know where she is, but there are like entire hour and a half long YouTube videos about her mental breakdown. And having that such public information and something that people ridicule and make their own money off of because they're monetizing these videos about her and her breakdown is just so like I cannot there's no way in hell that I could ever condone that. Like it's so awful to decide, yeah, that we're going to put this person through this trauma over and over and over again. Every single time that video gets watched, it's somebody else learning about these things that should have been kept private,
yeah.
but
And
couldn't be.
and that's a scary thing. That is horrifying to be able to, when you're putting yourself out there to try and make people happy, that they're more than happy to watch you burn, to watch you burn.
Yeah. People see like for some reason failure is also content.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, well, because cause to some people, there's a lot of the jealousy aspect involved with it, because I'm pretty sure there are people who would be jealous of your 9 days, there are people who would be jealous of the fact that you're doing so well for yourself right now, the fact that you're happy, the fact that you're even happy, right, is something that will make people jealous. The fact that you're so confident of yourself would make people want to watch you fail. And
trust me, it's a point of contention among my siblings.
I can imagine. It's just and it's like it's just horror. It's depressing. It's not fun to think about.
It
And
sucks to be in a position where it's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm happy. I see a future in this, and then have people like, you know what? Actually, you're shit at it, and I hope that you fail miserably.
I hope I don't see you again tomorrow. I hope you're
Like,
not live. And it's
I
like,
hope you log off and never come back.
and it's like, just go watch someone else? Question mark. Like, what? What's going on here? I don't get it. I don't get you people. Why do you want this from me? Why do you want my pain? It's so trying though when you just keep getting that over. Like when people just Because it's like you hyperfixate on the negativity instead of the positivity.
Yeah. There was something I read once that said, for every negative comment you get, it takes 7 positive comments to undo that harm, which
You hear
is
that,
why
chat?
it's so important to like show appreciation for the content creators you love. And like, I'm the type of person, if I remember something random from somebody that I went to high school with, like one of my friends from high school introduced me to George Watsky as a musical artist, and recently I've gotten back into listening to his stuff. I haven't talked to the dude in like 5 years, but I messaged him the other day. I was like, hey, thank you for that. I hope you're doing well. He never responded. I don't expect him to. Really weird to hear from somebody after like 5 or 6 years, like, hey, thanks for that one random thing you did.
Well, you
But
think
I
about
do it anyway.
well, it's a little thing. Because someone from your stream, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, Valior38. But the times that I come into chat, she always welcomes me and says hi. And honestly, some days that goes an incredibly long way, and I couldn't express how much I appreciate this stream. It's the little things,
Yeah.
you know, that yes, the negativity sucks. It really does. But then you have those moments where you're like, this is all worth it.
Yeah, that week off that I took after that stream where I had like high viewership and got a whole lot of ableism, I had so many people reach out to me like it was like really helped me recover from that and like get back into like passionately streaming and that kind of thing. I did read it, Valior. I just couldn't address it myself, but I'm glad Sam brought it up.
Yeah,
Anyways.
like I said, guys, I do apologize if you're in here. I typically don't respond to people unless I think it's funny or I think it's a important thing, a little nugget to talk about, like a question or something. I'm not ignoring you. I just am. I'm sorry. Anyways, I do apologize for interrupting.
You're good. Just in general, having all of that support come back from my community and having people having people tell me like, oh, like you really have helped me like get more comfortable with myself, or like I've had people tell me like I didn't know I had ADHD until I came to your stream and you talked about all your struggles, and now it's like, yeah, I have ADHD and I need to be medicated.
Well, that's
I'm
what
like,
you talked about it on Ariana's stream, and you're like, yeah, I think you have ADHD, and I'm like, I think so
oh
too.
yeah,
I
you
think so too.
absolutely do. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh
There's
man, it's a struggle bus sometimes. I think it's definitely undiagnosed for sure. Because there are certain things I notice. I'm just like, yeah, this seems like ADHD. Oh well. I mean, I'm not negatively impacted by it, so I'm just going with it right now.
Let me ask you, how does caffeine typically affect you?
Oh man, I've just like, so one can, I'm like, okay, I'm awake. 2 cans, I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling good. 3rd can is like, I'm out of here. I gotta like rush. So I gotta like do everything all at once. And or sometimes like if I'm in like a really depressed mood, it just like enhances my anxiety even more. That's why I cut back on caffeine sometimes. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't need caffeine. I'm just gonna struggle.
Caffeine is a stimulant, so it can be used to self-medicate ADHD if you're in a place where you can't go get it diagnosed, or you just don't have the money to be on a prescription that's regulated like that and that kind of thing. So I have a caffeine addiction. I drink caffeine every day. However, it's the only way I can get anything done. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna have to do with that.
yeah, because I find that like if I don't have caffeine, I'm just like, yeah.
You just kind of sit around all day doing nothing and thinking about all the things you need to do.
Yeah, that's how it's. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
called executive dysfunction.
Yeah. See, I'm learning stuff now too. It's. This is why it's such a great podcast to have. So, Celluxies, as much as I hate to do this, 2 hours have gone by like that. I don't know.
They have. It's true.
It's been so much fun. I hate to do this because I have like so many more questions that I want to talk to you about and so many more stuff I want to ask you because this has been just a fantastic podcast. But guys, first off though, can I get some claps in here for Celluxies, please? I want some claps in here for her. She was an absolutely fantastic guest. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. Seriously, we had just great conversations. We talked about a lot of really important stuff that I think isn't talked about enough. And I'm so happy that we were able to have this chance to talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I will never there's not a time in my life where I will take the easy way out. I'll be honest with you. So I'm like always like, yes, let's do the hard stuff. I want to talk about the things people don't talk about. I want to open up on all these subjects that make people uncomfortable.
Yes. Oh,
This
hold on.
doesn't
We got
bother me.
we got to do a standing ovation here for her. There we go. I swear to God, guys, I'm standing. I'm standing. I swear. So, where can people catch you?
I am Celluxies on every single platform. I'll put my landing page in chat again. It's my
There you are, guys.
beacons.ai/Celluxies.
Now that's
It's
awesome, if you ask me. That is very
I
awesome.
it's a really awesome like landing page website. You get to design like everything. I love it so much. And it's called Beacons, which I think is so fitting because I'm a holy paladin main in World of Warcraft and we have a spell called Beacon.
God,
It,
I had like so many more things I wanted to ask you about World of Warcraft too. Like, how do I get good? That's
Come hang out in my stream. I can give you some hot tips.
there you go, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you go. And speaking of your stream, do you have a streaming schedule, or is it just like
I typically stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So I don't stream Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. I might stream tonight. I have a meeting with my healing officer first and then maybe but it kind of varies wildly based on my disabilities, how much stuff I have coming up that week and that kind of stuff, which is why it's like I don't have a strict schedule.
well, listen. As long as we can catch you live, that's all that matters. And as long as we
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
general rough idea of when we can catch you, because listen, guys, I hang out in her stream a couple of times, just like when I was wanting before I asked her onto the podcast, or after I asked her onto the podcast. I watched a couple of her streams just to get to know her a little bit better. And she is awesome, guys. You are going to love it. Trust me. Go check out her stream. Check out her TikTok. That one website that is very friendly. Go check that out.
Website. I have so many links.
Like she said, the beacons.ai/Celluxies. Go check it out, guys. Everyone, one more, please. One more claps for her before we sign off for the night. Well, before I sign her off for the night, I'm gonna be back, guys. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm doing a giveaway as well, so I want all the love, guys. All the love. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on, Cell.
Of course. I had a wonderful time.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna take you guys all back to the starting screen here in a second. So this is all your last chance to take a great look at her before I banish you guys to silence for a couple of minutes.
That's how cute I am.
Look how cute she is. What? All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
I'm telling you guys, we keep getting great guests after great guests after great guests. And once again, Celluxies, thank you so much for watching, my friend. I really, really enjoyed having you on. Really great job, and I cannot wait to have you on again. So guys, thank you all once again for watching. Remember, please do like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Really, really does help out a lot, guys. We also have a Patreon that you can go and check out as well. I also stream these live on twitch.tv/SamTalkz before they go live onto YouTube. And we are now also on Spotify, guys. So make sure to go and check that out as well. Everyone, thank you all so much for watching. And I will see all of you on the next podcast. Goodbye.